EBERECHI, EZE to United, anybody? Manchester United fans, get into the live chat and in the comment section right now. Would you take EZE? 60 million apparently is the price tag, and various sources going in on this, mainly the tabloids this morning, on Manchester United's interest and on now red alert with Oliver Glasner's stance on EZE and other players at Palace leaving the club this summer. Green lights? We'll see. We'll read into that report. We'll talk about it this morning. We'll get your thoughts on that as well in the live show. Manchester United's new restructure of the staff behind the scenes, with United taking one of Chelsea's long-serving servants in the scouting department. We'll talk about that as well. Who is playing for Manchester United today? The squad has been released, and some not so unfamiliar changes really there. I mean, to be honest, it actually doesn't look like there's going to be hardly any academy players in the side all of a sudden, looking at the squad that's leaving and been announced. Pictures have been released of Manchester United travelling down to Brentford, and there doesn't seem to be as many academy players as we first thought going to be playing. So we'll discuss the game, obviously, because it is game day as well. Manchester United heading down to Brentford today. 4 more games to go, 4 more Premier League games to endure for Manchester United fans this season in what has been a disaster of a Premier League season. But can we finish on a high? We will see, won't we? We'll get our thoughts on that and who we think might actually play. Going off these pictures, we'll let you know who's actually in the Manchester United travelling squad as well, and we'll pick a team from that also. And all of the other news floating around the Sunday morning papers, talking of which, we are going to be doing the paper round right after this show on Football Talks as well. Some interesting stuff on Arsenal and obviously Liverpool's hunt for a so-called replacement to Darwin Núñez again. But there is loads going on right now in the Premier League. What was Jamie Vardy doing? And Harry Kane, sorry mate, again. All of that coming up after this show on Football Talks. But right now, it's United news, and we are talking EBERECHI, EZE from Crystal Palace. Manchester United in the papers today, in the stories online as well, and their interest in EZE. Now, a lot of people looking at this and saying, is it actually even worth bringing EZE in, since we're going all in for Matheus Cunha? Similar type of position played, different type of player altogether though. EZE is that explosive, powerful, ball-carrying, attacking player who has, when you look at it on paper for his season, another 20 goal contributions this season for yet another player that Manchester United are looking at. Players in and around Manchester United, like Wolves with Cunha, obviously Delap with Ipswich. Interesting update on him as well, actually, coming up in the show. Forgot to mention that at the top, but we'll talk about that in a moment. But Delap, EZE, Cunha, players Premier League proven. You could argue definitely for EZE and Cunha, maybe not so much Delap, but teams in and around us is the point I'm trying to make there with that one. And EZE, another one who has shone, and I think with what EZE was doing for Crystal Palace last season and how well he performed, and then moving on to a big club like Bayern Munich and excelling over in Bayern Munich there under company, you could get the same thing with EZE. I think there was no chance that EZE and EZE were both going to leave in the same summer, which is probably why he didn't go last summer. He hasn't signed a new contract yet. 2 years left on his current deal at Palace after this season finishes. And again, he's creeping into that Jean-Philippe Mateta sort of mould with not signing a new deal at the moment and waiting to see after a very, very good season for Palace again if anybody comes in, because I don't mean it's any disrespectful way to Crystal Palace, but you know they're one of them clubs and their players are going to get taken away in the summer. They're going to get fleeced. I mean, you only have to look at Mark Guehi as well. He's another player that they're concerned is also going to leave the club. If they don't get European football, and obviously they have to try and fund and improve their squad and build, you're looking at the price tags of some of the players coming from Crystal Palace. I mean, Mark Guehi, 50 to 70 million, 60 million we're talking here for EZE. Adam Wharton's price tag apparently is around about 70 to 80 million in what Palace want. Can Palace afford to lose all of these players? Well, the ones that you have to look at are the ones that are on the shorter term contracts, and that is your Mark Guehi's, your EZE's, your Jean-Philippe Matetas at Crystal Palace right now. Manchester United in a more comfortable position if we get Champions League football, obviously. And I think, again, this is another transfer that we're only talking about right now as United fans because of the transfer window changing if we get into the Champions League. EZE, for me, is a fantastic player. I've said all along, I don't think Manchester United will sign EZE, and he's not at the top of my priority list. If you look at EZE and you look at what else is available out there right now for Manchester United, you would say there are plenty of other players who play in a similar position, and players, again, he's another one of them 10s. And there's so many of them at the moment. We've got a load of them ourselves, like we've discussed. We're having Cunha coming in as well. I just don't see how. The only situation I can see another 10 coming in for Manchester United is if we don't buy an 8. And obviously Manchester United's transfer window is going to be based around what happens in the Europa League now going into the Champions League, and then obviously how Manchester United's recruitment is affected past that with bringing in a number 8. I feel we've got our number 1 target in our 10, which is Matheus Cunha. If Manchester United don't get Champions League football, we don't have that extra money to spend, then I could see us struggling to get the 8 that we want. Maybe we just bring another academy player through like Coney, like we were speaking about last night, possibly, or a Morehouse coming through as well from Manchester United's academy, just in what we've got, and drop Bruno in there as well and bring in another 10 if we sell Garnacho. These are the only sort of circumstances and situations I can envisage where Manchester United would bring in an EBERECHI EZE from Crystal Palace. 60 million as well. That is a price tag that I think it's kind of like the going rate, isn't it? But when you look at everything, everyone seems to be around that 60 million mark, don't they? You had the Gyökeres at 58, just under. The 62 for Victor Osimhen, just over. 62 for Matheus Cunha, now 60 million for EZE. To be honest, at 26 and what this player brings in EBERECHI EZE, I think he's probably about market value, is just about right. I would say he's about a £50 million player, but someone is going to have to spend that little bit more, I think, to get him out of Crystal Palace. So, however, I do like him. I still see this deal and the stories being real, and United have been rumoured to be talking and tracking EZE throughout the rest of this season from the January transfer window forward. He has been on Manchester United's radar, but again, I think we did have other priorities in front of him. I'm not saying we can't sign him. I'm not saying that we won't go for him or try and test Crystal Palace's resolve in a bid for EZE, but I just see United operating in a different market going into the summer, and the priority isn't going to be that position. It has to be a striker. It has to be a player that Manchester United are going to bring in now and is going to improve a certain area of the pitch. Right now, I don't see EZE getting in ahead of Ahmad, Cunha or Bruno. And that sounds, for the season that he's had and spending 60 million, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But I think that's kind of a reality. You're not going to drop your captain. Cunha is number 1 target for Amorim. He's going to play. And Ahmad has been the shining light. And when he's fit, he plays. I don't see how EZE fits in. Behind him, you've got Mount, you've got Garnacho, you've got Xerxes. No, is the answer, I think, for EZE. But still, I'm not going to say it's a no, because if United do end up going out into this window, and it has been one of them sort of bubbling up situations, I think, in Manchester United's transfer structure and what's happening with the news, that we still haven't got any sort of clarity on how many players are going to leave Manchester United. Now, all we're hearing is that there is going to be big changes going into the summer, and it doesn't matter if we're in the Champions League or we're not in the Champions League. Manchester United will be selling players this summer no matter what, and the plan stays the same, in or out of the Champions League. The amount of money we can spend and the players we can bring in changes if we're in the Champions League. That's it. So we know what players Manchester United are probably going to be getting rid of. That's what we're looking at right now, I think, more than anything. So I think it may change if we cannot get our targets in other areas of the pitch. And I say it again, the only way I see EZE coming in is if we don't get an 8 and Bruno stays in 8, someone from the academy comes forward, or we buy a cheaper number 8 that we can't get. Like, we want Edison, obviously, for Atalanta. He's top target. I think if we get Champions League, we get him, and EZE's gone completely. We don't buy EBERECHI EZE. I know we need squad depth. I know we need quality players to compete in the Champions League. If you're in it to win it. I know United can't win the Champions League because we're not there yet, but still, you want to go as far as you can, and you have to invest into getting as far as you can. So maybe squad depth comes into this as well, and Manchester United are looking at bringing in more players as well as the ones that we've already got and the ones that look like they're already coming, like Cunha. So looking at the EZE situation again, just to round it up on that one, I feel Manchester United's priority needs to be a number 9, not another 10 on top of Cunha and what we've already got. 9, 8, they're your two positions I think are at the top of Manchester United's shopping list after Cunha. talking about that number 9 and a situation that's developed that I didn't think about, which was there and obvious for everybody to see, and maybe an advantage for United over Chelsea in the race to sign Liam Delap, in that obviously the Club World Cup starts in June, and it's the same time that the under-21 Euros is being played as well. So if Chelsea signed Liam Delap, this is just a story that I've seen this morning, if Chelsea signed Liam Delap, then Liam Delap won't be going to the Euros. He won't be going to the under-21 championship. Now, we all know that Liam Delap loves playing for England under-21s. He's looking forward to it. He isn't going to make a decision on his move until the season finishes, before the under-21s. And he's got to make a decision whether he competes in the under-21s or goes and plays for Chelsea in the Club World Cup. Now, a lot of people would say, obviously, the under-21s is nothing compared to the proper international fold. And playing in the Club World Cup against some of the best teams in Europe, yes, that's different. But obviously, you've got the likes of Liam Delap and other under-21 players there, and that is their only type of international football that they can play. And it is quite big. And let's not forget, England are the holders of the under-21 European Championships as well, after beating Spain last time out. So there is that hold there as well. So maybe this is a decision, maybe this is what he's waiting for as well. Liam Delap wants European football. He also has a decision to make in challenging in playing in the under-21s or the Club World Cup if Chelsea come in for him. Obviously, there are other targets. There are other clubs, targeting Liam Delap as well. But just on that one there, something I wanted to just bring in terms of targets for United. I do believe that United will end up getting him if we get the Euros, because let's be honest, you would rather come to Manchester United than Chelsea. And I honestly, I'm not saying that with my red-tinted glasses on. I just look at Chelsea's setup and I just see the amount of players that go there and just fall away. You look at Caicedo falling off, Enzo Fernandez falling off. Again, you're looking at the likes of Lavia coming in, not playing games. Everything that's happening with Chelsea just seems chaotic, completely chaotic. And looking in from the outside, yeah, you could get a big contract and a long-term deal at Chelsea. And they are playing better than what Manchester United are this summer. But still, you look at the fall in form of Cole Palmer under Maresca and what's happening there. And players like Jadon Sancho coming in and playing again ahead of some of the younger players that could be getting opportunities there. What's happened to João Felix and that brilliant player that was there? If I'm looking at that, obviously you can argue the point that Manchester United actually do ruin careers as well. But I think we're a bit more open when it comes to the structure of transfers and being a bit more clear on what the pathways are for certain players. And I think Ruben's come in and he's been very assertive. He's dealt with Rashford, he dealt with Antony, and then players have gone. Certain players we know he needed to take a little bit of time within the team, like Casemiro as well. And I think it just looks better at United. Anyway, let's get into the chat on this one on EBERECHI EZE as well. Are you a fan? You may be a fan, but you may think this is just a bit long-winded and not a realistic target for Manchester United. Talk to me, please, everybody in the chat. Let's start with a couple of super chats in here from Roz, Manny and Ant. Manny says, I'll take this lad for sure, Adam. EPL proven. He's no Trincao, but he'll do. He'll do. We can't be dealing with he'll do's, mate. We need to be dead certs. But 20 goal involvements this season for EBERECHI EZE. I think he's missed about 3 games through injury with a little niggle for a hamstring injury. That's about it. Decent Prem proven player at the right type of age. He is turning 27 though. Is that a turn off? 60 million for a 27-year-old. This is the decisions that Manchester United structure has to make. We have got an abundance of young talent coming through. Do we need any more? Do we need nows? Yes, we do. We need to compete now, because the planning of them younger players coming through into the future is all with Manchester United competing at the highest level. The more United fall behind, the more pressure is then on these youngsters coming through. We need some ready-made players that are going to come in and actually keep Manchester United afloat for a while these younger players develop, because they're all way too young at the moment. We said this about Obi last night. He's 17. You can't expect him to come in and be the leading light. Someone else needs to be there. So, yeah, I can see Manchester United going down this road of getting Well, I hope they do, because we do need to balance it out. Ross with the super chat says, if they bring in Edison and keep Casemiro, what happens to Collier? A backup 6? Yeah, full-on backup squad player, because if we bring Edison in, it probably means we're in the Champions League, and next season Manchester United are playing 60-plus games again, mate. So full rotation. I think even with Casemiro, Ugarte, Edison, Collier's still going to get, I think, at least 15 to 20 games a season for Manchester United. And to be honest, I think that's his next level of development. That's the pathway that he's going to have to follow. And he'd be playing and training amongst some absolute quality midfielders there. So I think it benefits Collier as well, to be honest. Another super chat in from Ant, who says, don't want Delap, like Ruben said, if they aren't picking based on European football, we don't want them. We need the right mentality. This ain't it. In strong capitals. Thanks for the super chat, Ant. Please keep your comments coming in on them. We've also got a poll running right now regarding the game later on as well, which is, do you think Obi will get his first start today? Get voting on that one, everybody. He is in that squad we are going to talk about at the end of this show as well. By the way, we are doing a warm-up to the game again for the watch-along starting at 1 o'clock today, everybody. We are doing the watch-along over on Big Up again, so we're going to start our build-up show, warm-up show around about 1 o'clock today, so just make sure that you're all settled in and ready for that again, similar to what we did with the Europa League earlier on in the week as well. So make sure that you're there for that in the proper build-up to the game later on. Let's get into some more comments. The age is not an issue, as 27 is a good age for a forward. My issue is that injury record, and due to that, I don't think he sustains the pressure of he sustains the pressure off the youngsters. He's had 3 games out all season, mate. I don't know what injury record you're alluding to. But yeah, I think maybe from the season before, probably Astro. Is that what it is? Possibly. I think that's where he's had a couple. But this season he's been good. He's had some strange injuries, but he has been available. I mean, when you look at, let's just get his record actually up right now, actually, just to be 100% certain on this while we're live. Right, so this season for EBERECHI EZE, he's played 30 Premier League games this season. Let's get into the full breakdown of everything that EBERECHI EZE has played this season. So this season he's played 38 games. Bearing in mind they're competing in the Premier League, the League Cup, and just the FA Cup. He's played 4 games in the FA Cup, 30 in the Premier League, and 4 in the EFL Cup. So 38 games. 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 goal involvements this season in 38 games. It ain't half bad. It ain't half bad. And let's be honest, he has come on for England and scored his first international goal as well this season. So I would say definitely of the comfortable bracket, I would say. The hamstring injury, which he sustained back in February, is the only... Sorry, no, in November it was. Is the only injury he's picked up. So as his record... decent. I mean, you look at them, you look at the games that he hasn't featured in this season, Palace have picked up 2 points out of them 4. That's how influential he really is. Don't get me wrong, he featured in them smashing defeats against City and against Newcastle, but still, he is a consistent performer. EBERECHI EZE, and he's scored some massive goals. He looks like he's a big game player as well when you look at it. You look at the quarter-final goal against Fulham, you look at the Aston Villa goal in the semi-final of the FA Cup as well. He is an outstanding player, and I think he does hit the mark. So yeah, I think the injury from before is probably the one we're concerned about more than anything else. Angry Beaver, thank you for the gifted membership as well. We have another super chat in, a mega super chat in from Toby Collier. Keeping the older players like Casemiro will benefit Collier. Big schedule next year. As for 27-year-olds midfielders, a peak at the late 20s. Good ones do anyway. But look at Bruno, older and career best form. Yeah, I mean players run. I reckon now you're not looking at a super chat from Manny, not Toby. I think I said Toby then. Sorry if I did. I'm calling you an actual Premier League player now, right? Sorry, Manny. But you look at the age of players right now. 30 isn't old for a Premier League player these days. It's not. You look at the age of the players, it's going on to that, like 34, 35 now for players. So 27, you're still getting 5 years at the top level. That, I think, is good investment into a player. I really do. And he is at the peak. He's coming in. You know you're getting ready-made players here. And that's what you've got to, I think that's what you've got to probably look at as well in this. I think we need more ready-made players. Sorry everyone, my chat has just gone off screen and now it's come back again. Well, I'm reading a comment out as well. It's not fair. I have the feeling someone will come in and make an offer for Collier, maybe Everton or West Ham, 25 million. He's going nowhere, I don't think, mate. I don't think someone will come in with that money anyway. Be interesting to see if United do get tempted by any offers if they do come in, no, mate. Unless Amorim thinks he can turn Delap into Gyökeres, then why would we bother with him? Not convinced at all. I would much rather get Jonathan David. Nearly a goal every 2 games across 3 seasons. He has been ridiculously consistent, Jonathan David, and I've always been banging the drum for Jonathan David. You know that on this channel. I don't know why Manchester United are not looking at him. I can only assume it is very high wages or something like that. Yeah, Ant's actually made a good point there on Collier. Collier's injury record is a bit of a concern. Considering he doesn't play that much, he is out a lot with injuries, Toby Collier. So that, I think, is a definite concern for all at Manchester United. And I wouldn't be worried about Collier not getting as much game time. I think he needs to fit in. He hasn't really done anything yet that has blown anybody away where you would say that he's a player that you can rely on going forward and you don't need to go out and buy another midfielder anyway. I think that's where we're at with Toby Collier. I would rather sign Wharton too, but I think we will be priced out. Yeah, the price for Wharton is 70 million. I mean, I like the kid. I think he's a great player, but he isn't worth 70 million quid. Not a chance. You could argue that point. Obviously, if someone invests 70 million and he turns out to be a consistent performer week in, week out, then you've done good. Like, he came through from Blackburn and has had a good couple of seasons at Crystal Palace. He does stand out. He is probably going to get a move. I just see Wharton staying at Crystal Palace for another season, and then that's another year down on his contract and someone coming in with a cheaper offer. I think there'll be bigger clubs. I think there'll be the scouting him now. I think they'll be talking to his agents now. I think they'll be talking in a way where it's like, just wait it out, continue to play football, and we'll come in for you when the time is right. There's no need for Wharton to move from Crystal Palace yet, I don't think. I think it might be too soon for him as well. And I think there's going to be a big price tag later down the line still anyway for him. So, yeah, I just look at Wharton and go, yeah, I'm not too concerned right now if I'm Wharton. I think someone will come in for him anyway. Is Jonathan Tah a done deal? It's not a done deal, but there is more and more talk about Jonathan Tah coming into Manchester United. That was last night's story. We talked about it. He is definitely being tracked by Manchester United, and we have made contact with Jonathan Tah's representation. He's going on a free transfer, so no need to speak to Leverkusen or any club. It is just who can convince Jonathan Tah to come to their club. If United get Champions League, I could actually see this happening. Whereas a couple of days ago I said we don't need another defender. There's no point in going out and buying and bringing someone into another position. Other areas of the pitch are more of a priority. Jonathan Tah for free as an experienced defender coming in a Champions League season, I can see the benefit in that, and I can see why Manchester United would actually go down the roads of contacting his representation. At 29, his performances have been excellent. When you look at Jonathan Tah's stats and everything that he actually brings, there is an actual tweet out there right now, and it's come out from Man United Addicts, which is talking about the chart and performance levels of Maguire and Jonathan Tah in every single aspect of the game. Passing efficiency, recovery pace, defensive line heights, defensive line height as well, and sorry, I've said that twice. Passing under pressure, ball recovery, and sprint speed. He's ahead of Harry Maguire in all aspects of every single part of his game. Obviously, we know that Harry Maguire now turning 33. Obviously, he's got 4 years on him, so Tara's a little bit younger. He's a bit more agile. His agility is probably a bit better. He's excellent in the air as well, Jonathan Tah, which is good. And if you're looking for an out-and-out replacement of that type of experienced player for Harry Maguire that can come on and do something, score a goal, get a header, is strong, then Jonathan Tah ticks every single box for nothing. And the more and more I think about it, the more and more I listen to stats like this and people actually talking about Jonathan Tah being a realistic target for United, the more and more I start to think that it's actually a sensible deal. The only thing is, obviously, he's going to have to fall in line with what Harry Maguire's wages are on, at least. Can't be on any more than that. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. I don't see Ineos buying a 29-year-old and putting him on more than 200 grand a week. It could be. He has proven winner. And they may look at him as someone who could be on a 3-year with an extension, possibly for maybe 250 grand a week. I don't know what they're thinking or how, because this is going to be a new transfer for Manchester United if it happens, because under Ineos, we haven't bought anyone over the age of 26 yet. So it's going to be something else that we probably learn from how Ineos approach the transfer market going into this summer as well, with players that are free agents that could actually be value to the club going forward, adding that bit of experience. I think definitely when you look at it, I think it could actually be a deal that you would actually say is actually doable now. I think I was just looking at the necessaries at the time when I was reading into the town, thinking, we don't want another centre-back. I don't want to go out and spend money on another centre-back. That's the definite no. But for free, maybe. On that recruitment side of things as well, in other news, Manchester United, and this is a story, I'll just read it right out. Manchester United look set to appoint former Chelsea Academy chief Jim Fraser. So Jim Radcliffe sees him as a key catcher as United plan to sign leading young talent. Fraser boasts a huge reputation for unerring top young stars. I mean, yes, I can see this. He has been let go. I think he's in the middle of his gardening leave right now as well. That's a popular phrase for Manchester United under Ineos since they took over. But yeah, he is a top operator again. And again, I think again alongside the likes of Wilcox, Vival, they're bringing in the best-in-class operators within the recruitment team and management setup at Manchester United. And if it is all about the younger players, like we were talking last night about Manchester United's academy players coming through and possibly featuring today, who will come through, what players are actually going to feature for Manchester United out of the current crop, with the circumstances that United are facing now and the need for ready-made players. Is there anyone there that is going to come through? Well, these are the types of people that would find them young players coming through everyone's academy. And do you know what? And that side of things, like Vival, it's the contacts. It's who he knows. It's how they operate. It's knowing certain clubs and being in with certain clubs and players that could possibly be available, knowing the agents of them younger players as well. And these are the types of people that have just not been working at Manchester United for the last 10 years. We've had an absolutely appalling setup behind the scenes, as we know. And now you're bringing in people like Vival, like Wilcox, who are well connected, Berardi, who knows how to run a football club, and the big changeover from Manchester City. Obviously, you're looking at what Vival has done and Wilcox have done already in the transfer market and younger players coming through. We're now seeing possibly Chido make another appearance today for Manchester United. Heaven, obviously, another one of these players. Leon next season also. And I think someone like Fraser coming in is just to back this up as well. And just, I think, stamp our authority down on this part of the recruitment side of things. I think it's the right move. It's not really going to interest us until we see the players that they start to bring in and players that they start to discover. So, yeah, good news, I suppose, for the structure. Does it really affect us as fans right now? Probably not. It isn't real big news. But this is the type of people you bring into Manchester United if you want to keep hold of your best talent as well. Now, we talked about JJ Gabriel yesterday and the day before. Obviously, he made another appearance for the under-18s on Friday. Scored again. Was involved in another goal in that game also. That's 3 goals in 2 substitute appearances for a 14-year-old at the age of... playing in a under-18s team for Manchester United. And there has been lots of stories going around about the issue United have got in possibly keeping hold of JJ Gabriel. Now, people like Fraser coming in and having people like Vivel and Wilcox around and dealing with Manchester United's academy before, with Murto, with Arnold, with everything else that was there structure-wise at Manchester United, you'd have been concerned that United would have been overpowered in certain situations. Recruitment, academy players, it's all been completely wrong at Manchester United. Bringing in people like this, I think, just helps Manchester United keep hold of the likes of JJ Gabriel. I think this is where Manchester United are actually at right now. We're trying to keep hold of and nurture the best talent that we've got and develop a pathway for these players to come into Manchester United. And what we're looking at now is United really trying to keep hold of some of their best talents as well as bringing in the best from elsewhere. Because JJ Gabriel, and I think it's been another scout, has said that Manchester United will struggle to keep hold of JJ Gabriel. The actual line that was said was that Manchester United have to look after him and have to make sure that he gets the treatment in terms of what he would get elsewhere at other big clubs. This is a talent that Manchester United, or a talent that United have not had at the football club for a very, very long time. These are the types of players you would usually see coming through at the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, all of these types of football clubs. And United do have a real talent on their hands in JJ Gabriel. But there is a chance that Manchester United could lose out and not be able to keep hold of him. So, yes, I think personally this is more Manchester United building a structure behind the scenes to keep hold of the best talent that we've got and make sure that nobody comes in and takes that away. Like right now, we have got a lot coming through and we're in a difficult position with what we talked about transfer-wise in bringing in ready-made players to not be able to hold on to these young lads as well, I think. So I think that's why United are building up the behind-the-scenes structure as well, as definitely on the academy side. So Fraser, well known for his operations, been at Chelsea for a very, very long time, and Jim Radcliffe and Manchester United feel like this is actually a good move as well for the club. So let's see how it develops and let's see what he can bring to Manchester United. We can't really say much more on that until then. Please do keep your comments coming in about EBERECHI EZE. Is he a player that you would take at Manchester United? The conversation has been running through the chat all morning. Quite a few of you have actually said that this would be an actual good deal. Like Ginge says there. Sorry, not Ginge, sorry. Is that Samenda says... in 10, Cunha and Eze would be deadly. They would be deadly. It would be a lethal combination. There's a few different lethal combinations. Nuke says, I'd keep Dango McAllister over Collier. Yeah, both of them players leaving Manchester United. But let's be honest, none of them have really featured or done anything for Manchester United in the first team, have they? Collier's come on and been tidy in times. And I think he's probably the one at 21 that right now he's probably got a better chance of staying at Manchester United. I don't see him leaving. Unless Manchester United do go crazy in the transfer window and bring in quite a few midfielders. I can't see that happening, but still, you would think that Collier would be a mainstay at Manchester United now going forward. Does Gabriel's contract go year to year until he reaches a certain age? He's on the academy contract at the moment. And I think it's like, when can you sign a pro contract? I think we need to do a little bit more research into this. But at the moment, United are okay. He's safe. And he has been given a little bit more under-18s time, because I think that was to appease the progress, his family, and questions being asked about what Manchester United are going to do. Do United really see him as a star of the future? And I think he has been fast-forwarded a little bit. Let's be honest, he's not really struggled, has he? He scored 3 goals in 2 substitute appearances, so that level is probably about right for him anyway. I think we really could be seeing the next best thing in Gabriel. Cheers for the super chat, Rose, by the way, on that, buddy. But I think this is something that Manchester United need to be complete wrong words there. They need to be completely on top of. We have to make sure that we secure the talent of these players, because if we lose a player like this, you know the headlines that are coming. We lose a player like this, he'll go and thrive somewhere else. He's not costing United anything at all at the moment. They just need to organise the contract situation with him, make sure that he's looked after. If you're coming through at 14 in the under-18s and you're kicking ass there, then you do need to be looked at as one of them next best players, I think. And United, I think, just need to nurture that. Thank you, everybody, for the likes on the video as well. If you are enjoying the content, please do pop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We did just pass 77,000 subscribers this morning, everyone. So thank you, everyone who has been part of that journey. 80k is our next target, people. 77k in the bag today on game day. Brilliant way to start the day. Waking up to that this morning. So thank you, everybody, again. Let's get through some more comments on the show this morning. Sunday morning, we like to get a few people's comments in. Everyone sat up in bed watching or sat downstairs with your morning coffee. You know, it makes sense. We are going to continue the chat, obviously, on to Football Talk straight after this show as well. So make sure that you do join us. The link is in the live chat there to go and subscribe. You will be redirected straight after the show finishes anyway. So come and watch and listen in there. As it would be an excellent addition. How likely is this to happen? I wonder. Easily walks into our side right now. High technical ability and consistent in an average Palace team. Doing better than Man United right now as well. So it's a bit of an upgrade for Manchester United, you could say, isn't it? Downgrade for EZE? I'm forming the league, yeah. But look, there are things we're going to be talking about on Football Talks in the moment which prove otherwise. But yeah, keep it going. Let's see. Seen many players are linked to United, but who is realistic? Ederson, I think you're supposed to say there, Mark, not Henderson. But Ederson is definitely a realistic target for Manchester United. Now we've got 1 foot in the final. Manchester United's targets are of the higher calibre, definitely, 100%. Ruben Amorim has called for Manchester United to play with pride today against Brentford. 2 o'clock kickoff. Don't forget, everybody, we will be here on Forever United TV with the watch along and the warm up to that game later on. So make sure that you are with us for that, starting at 1 o'clock today here on YouTube for all of your match action. Be involved in the show there, please, everyone. Looking at the team, right? So when you look at this team, this is what I was talking about earlier on. So the squad and the travelling squad has been announced for Manchester United. So I'm just going to read into this here. So this is the apparent, noted and seen squad. So the train station pictures. Stockport train station, the usual one where Manchester United go. And this is where all the pictures have come from. So Manchester United's travelling squad going down to London. This is what has been seen. Is Andre Onana, Heaton and Bain there in goal. The defenders are Harry Maguire, Matthias de Ligt, Lenny Yoro, Victor Lindelof, Tyler Fredrickson, Luke Shaw, Harry Mass and Patrick Dorgu. So no Mazraoui in there, no Heaven in there either for Manchester United. Casemiro, Ugarte, Ericsson, Mainu, Fernandes and Mount are the midfielders. And your forwards are Garnacho, Ahmad, Højlund and Chido. So, not many academy players there, really, you could say. You've got Amas, Fredrickson and Chido. Where's the Morehouse? Where's the Kone that was training with the Manchester United squad? It seems that Ruben Amorim really isn't changing it up that much. If he was going to get wholesale changes, who would we be looking at starting that game? You could argue the goalkeepers, not really bothered. When you're looking at them defenders, Maguire, De Ligt, Yoro, Lindelof, Fredrickson, Shaw, Amas and Dorgu. That, for me, shouts out straight away that Manchester United's backline could actually feature Fredrickson again, De Ligt, and maybe Luke Shaw. I'm just guessing that because Lindelof played, so I don't know if he's going to play Lindelof again. Maguire, I don't think he's going to play Maguire. De Ligt needs minutes. He may start De Ligt. I could actually see De Ligt, Fredrickson, and Luke Shaw as United's backline today, looking at that. Amas and Dorgu, I'm pretty certain, will be the wing-backs. Unless he wants to play Ahmad there. Don't see it at all. Not at wing-back, coming back into the side, needing minutes. I don't see him playing him at wing-back. So I would say maybe Onana in goal. Not really bothered about the keeper, like we said. You've got, I reckon, Fredrickson, Shaw and De Ligt, maybe as your defenders. It could be Lindelof, it could be Yoro. Easily. Amas and Dorgu will be your wing-backs. Dorgu will play on the right and Amas will play on the left, I think. Then the midfielders, don't see Casemiro playing. Ericsson could play. Mainu could play. Bruno could play in the midfield. I'm going to go, I think Ericsson will play. I'm not looking forward to seeing Ericsson play, to be honest. I don't mean that in any disrespect to him. You know why. I think he's checked out personally. And I think we're weaker with him in that midfield. But maybe it's an Ugarte and Ericsson midfield. Maybe it's a Mainu and Ericsson. midfield. Guess is good as mine. Then the front line, I think Chido will start. I think he'll rest Højlund. We could see Ahmad start, but more than likely, I think it's going to be, I think Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, and Chido up front. Looking at that, it's not a team I would pick. I'm just going off what I think will happen. Let me know what you think in the chat, everybody. From that squad that has been seen at the train station, and obviously you can see every single player getting onto the train. No one else is going to arrive after that. So I think we can say that is definitely Man United's matchday squad going down to Brentford. Who would you play in that team? Keep your comments coming in on everything we've been talking about. Gabriel, JJ Gabriel, EBERECHI, EZE as well, everybody. Even Jonathan Tarr. Get your comments in on that, please, everybody. Let me know what you think about this. Let's just see. JJ Gabriel and Franco Mastantuono will be the youngest frontline ever, says Elmac. It would be, yes. Cunha, Ahmad, Bruno, all better 10s than EZE, says Compost. Let's just see. Be watching the game in Liverpool, daughter at Comic-Con. Oh, God help you. But yes, Liverpool playing today. I think it's Chelsea, isn't it? Oof, big game for Chelsea that today. It is. Talk about that in a bit, actually. Tomo says, Bayende, Kamasin. No, Kamasin's not travelled, mate. Kamasin's not travelled, so forget that. Take it out. He's not in the matchday squad, mate. I thought he was going to be. We all did. He trained with the United first team, so did Kone, but looking at that travelling squad, doesn't look like they're in there, mate. So you can forget about that. Fredrickson, Shaw, Amas, Ericsson, Kobe, Mount, Bruno, Chido. Can see the rest of them, mate, definitely. Kobe Mainu and Manuel Agate, the perfect midfield duo. I don't know. I prefer Kobe further upfield. I'd rather start seeing Kobe Mainu feature in the front three rather than dropping back into the 8 position and 6 position now. I want to see him actually try and convert him into that proper 10 as an option for United, unless he feels he can. I just think he gets overrun in that midfield. And I know, obviously, we've got an abundance of 10s, and the natural thing to do is to drop him back into midfield and bring someone else in. I just don't see it working for him. I don't want to see Kobe Mainu as Man United's main midfielder. He's better at 10, attacking. 100%, I think that's where Kobe needs to be honing his game in on. Dacia Sandero says, I expect the team to be Anana, Fredrickson, De Ligt and Shaw. Amas, Dargu, Ericsson, Agate, Mainu, Mounts and Chido. No Bruno. Rest Bruno completely. He does need a rest. Ferguson won the double with kids. Just play them and see what happens. It's easier said than done, James, I'm afraid, mate. These days, it is a different game. The football world is completely different. And let's not forget, Manchester United, off the back of challenging and winning trophies, we're bringing younger players in with established winners. We don't really have that our team anymore. That's the difference. Let's see what we've got here. Youth, courage, and success is the only thing that's worked in our history. Babes 3.0 loading. Kobe not disciplined enough for a 2-man attack. A couple of super chats coming in as well from Manny. First of all, thank you, mate. OK, School is in. Kobe is a 10. Bruno is an 8. Ahmad is a right wing back, and that is where we'll play next season. Bruno will play. He can't stand still. He is hard to keep out of the side. I think even Ruben Amorim has said this. Have to temper what we offer. JJ, I've still never seen a more natural, talented kid than Ravel. Yeah, Ravel was good, but we know what happened there. Can't be bent over in terms of other clubs coming in and stealing our best young talent away. 100% agree with that one. And that, I think, is what Manchester United need to be doing. Looking after what we've got, as well as bringing in the best. But you need a structure in place to do that. I think United are developing that structure. And I think today we could see some players come through that have actually been part of that structure. Hopefully, again, we see more Harry Amas getting his 3rd Premier League start of the season. That would be mega. Absolutely brilliant. Fredrickson, if he starts today, I would love to see that go up against someone like Visa and Mbumo Good challenge for him today. A different challenge rather than that cakewalk of a game, which was the Wolves game for Fredriksson. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing some different players and different faces again today on the pitch for United. And hopefully, you know what? I still feel like United can get the win today. I really do. We'll talk more about that when the game comes around later on, everybody, as well. So make sure that you're tuned in at 1 o'clock here on YouTube. All the build-up into the watch-along for the Brentford game later on. Hopefully we get plenty of you in there as well. And yeah, we'll talk about some of the players and we'll know them by 1 o'clock what the team is as well, so we can discuss it in detail also. But for now, that is it. Thank you so much, everybody. Sunday morning show done here on FUTV. We are now flying across to football talks. We're going to have a bit of a laugh at Arsenal's expense. I'm neutral in all of this, but has he been a complete failure if he loses this game at PSG? Arsenal falling away in the league, falling away in the Champions League after that bad defeat. We're talking about that over on Football Talks next in the paper round. So get across there, everybody. Please also make sure that you are on with the match bingo as well today. We know always, and you know, when match day comes around, match bingo, our match day sponsors are in town. Scan the QR code on the screen right there. The mods have dropped the link in the live chat right now for you, our match day sponsor, Match Bingo. Now deposit £5 and get another £10 on top. It's only £2 a card. Download the app by scanning the QR code on the screen or clicking the link in the description. You get 15 match events from throw-ins to goals, left-footed goals, posts, crossbars, substitutions at certain times. Anything that can happen in a game is on your bingo card. It gets crossed off as it happens in the game. You get 5 in a row, you get 25 quid. Another 5 in a row, double lines, another 25 quid. If you get all 15, you get a jackpot, which is worth up to 300 quid. Be part of it here on Forever United TV as well. Click on that link. We've given out £500 just in April alone to FUTV subscribers here on the shows with Match Bingo. Make sure you're part of it, everybody. Thank you, everyone who has already jumped in and joined us on the game. But we are firing across now to Football Talks, everybody. So please do jump across. Come and join us there. I'll see you all over there. Give this video a like on the way out if you love the content. Subscribe to Forever United TV. I will see you all in just a few moments' time. Cheers, everybody.